I spent 100 hours in a Minecraft fishing simulator, and let me tell you what, it ain't all that bad. Fishing is found in all sorts of video games and done in all sorts of ways, from simple, easy minigames to complicated, realistic fishing. Now, Minecraft's iteration of fishing is simple, to say the least. Wait for the water particles to reach the bobber and hit an easy right-click. Done. You caught the thing. It's enough, I guess. But what if this was better? And what if someone made an entire game around that? This server is called Fish on Minecraft, and all you do is fish.
Fish on.
It's a balance to keep the bar in the center, controlled by either crouching or not crouching. A minigame similar to Stardew Valley. Bluegill. All that only for 0.02 pounds? And I gotta do this for another 100 hours. On the top right, you'll see a timer. This is how I'll be tracking my hours, and there's a catch. It only counts if I fish. Specifically, it starts moving after I make a catch, and stops if I don't catch anything after 30 seconds, which is about how long it takes for me to catch a fish right now. I am weak. Even small fish take forever to catch. I need upgrades, and fast, or this might just be the most painful 100 hours of my life. The first upgrade system you learn about are rod parts. Of course, rod part upgrades aren't free, and I don't even have access to most of these upgrades. There's 3 rod parts: the pole, reel, and line. The stats are pretty self-explanatory. The pole comes with bite speed, speeding up the initial bite. The reel has reel speed, which makes the catch bar fill faster, and line also speeds up how fast you catch the fish. Trimple! I got $0, and these upgrades cost a pretty penny. What should I do? What the? God, is that you?
Yes, sir. And I have the answer you're looking for.
Oh my God.
Simple. Just fish, bro.
So, there I was, fishing. Even catching epic and legendary fish, and selling everything because apparently these don't matter. The fish that do matter are what the game calls variants.
A little back scratch. Oh, you like that, huh?
Coconut here is an albino alligator. They have a rare genetic situation where their body doesn't produce as much or any melanin, causing their scales and skin to be white. This condition exists for a large variety of creatures, including fish. Next up, melanistic, when the body produces too much melanin, resulting in a dark appearance. Pretty much the opposite of albino. That's one big-ass alligator gar. Jeremy Wade, my beloved. And this one's a super rare melanistic alligator gar.
Sick! It's black! Whoa!
Guess, on average, how many catches you need to fish an albino. And I hope you guessed 1 out of every 5,000 fish. Melanistic are even worse, at 1 out of 10,000. And we're just getting started. These are 2 of the 4 variant fish. This next one is 1 out of 15,000. Trophy fish. Oh, whoops, wrong game. Trophy fish. This game is taking some liberties by making trophy fish literally golden trophy fish. In real life, Google is telling me trophy fish are just big fish. In Fish on Minecraft, you can catch a trophy fish of any size, so more accurately, gigantic should be the term used for trophy fish, but take a look at the board. Baby, juvenile, adult, large, and gigantic. Gigantic is 0.02%?
Impossible!
Yippee! But catching one of these doesn't give you a golden fishy, so it's not special enough. It is special when you catch one during a contest, though. Welcome to the hourly fishing contest. Starts every hour on the hour, and the goal is to catch the heaviest fish. There's definitely strategies involved, but I'm gonna leave that problem for future me. The heck is a shard? The item says it's used in recipes, so I went to check it out, and bam, armor. Which is how I discovered that these fishing stats exist, and armor is a major source of these. Dear viewer, I have also discovered that every player here is addicted to gambling. Let me explain. I am crafting the chestplate now. Throw them in just like how you craft any armor, and bam.
It's black!
No! It's not black, it's unidentified. Like Minecraft? Found it. Hello, identifier. Give me something good, baby. Give me something good. This just in. Tragedy has struck Cypress Lake. The identifier was attacked inside his business by a crazed lunatic. Reportedly, the assailant was repeatedly yelling, 100% roll, baby. Let it ride. And run it back. We go again. Got away with my new chest plate. Hopefully no one saw me. I'm Batman. Batman? Does this. And that really happened, I swear.
I'm sure it did.
Oh, you gotta believe
Yeah,
me, man. I didn't have any shards or manifest enough luck, so my armor sucks for now. And that's even after rolling a few extra times, because you're able to scrap trash armor at the scrapper for a shard refund. From the looks of it, getting a decent set of armor is a lengthy and pricey process. I'll have to figure out if I should prioritize armor or rod parts first before I waste any more money. In other news, now that I have this armor, look at my stats. I got a bit of luck, scale, and prospect now. Awesome! What do they even do? Does luck increase chance of catching variants? Hey guys, what does prospect do? Does scale make my butt look big? Okay, I got all the answers I needed. Prospect increases chance at catching more shards. Luck doesn't help with catching variant fish, but it does help me catch higher rarity fish like epic and legendary. And scale is greater chance at catching bigger fish. Except I have barely any of it because my armor sucks, and I have no clue how strong any of these stats are. But obviously more of it is better. Okay, I'm looking at the armor, right? Tier 1 out of 5. There must be a way to upgrade this. The Forge. The first upgrade costs 16 shards, which doesn't seem expensive, but I'm sure it gets worse. It's recommended you get some decent quality rolls before you start upgrading though. Otherwise, it's a huge waste of money, meaning I need more shards. Once again, the only answer to this dilemma is... This game is a huge tone shift from the usual content I enjoy. Fast-paced, action-packed, insano mode gameplay and cinematic experiences. This is the stuff I usually spend my time on. And now, here I am, soaking in the atmosphere with a fishing rod in hand. It's different. It's simple. Everything in society nowadays seems built to take and hold your attention for as long as possible. It's exhausting, really. Which is why I'm happy to see I'm still enjoying myself after only 1 hour of fishing. 1 hour done and 99 more to go. Will I even finish this? How much does this game have to offer? And is it even worth playing? What's up? Took a break after throwing in my rod parts for upgrades. Was able to afford these after voting on some sites, which rewards you these bait packages. It's more gambling that rewards you random pieces of bait. I don't think I got too lucky, but these crankbaits are worth at least $15,000 each on the auction house. So, fishing baits are simple. They increase the likelihood of catching a certain type of fish, increase or decrease bite speed, and sometimes increase the final size of the fish you catch. They come in all sorts of rarities and can get really expensive. Baits are pretty useful for contests, but right now I need the money, and selling is definitely worth it in the early game. Oh, thank you for the paycheck. Now let me tell you what. We're already so far into this video, yet barely any time has passed in the story. It's only been, what, 4 hours? I hope the game explanations were to your liking so far. There's a fair bit of stuff I had to teach you in order to build up the rest of my story. There's way more going on underneath the hood than you would expect from a fishing simulator, and a Minecraft one at that. But the story you've been watching up till now started with a lie. This is how the challenge started. 1 hour deep after installing the Fish on Extras mod and having a good friend suggest this video idea. Yes, the truth is I had already played the server a little bit. I actually talk about it in this video. But that's not when I started my challenge. My challenge started many months later when I revisited the server for reasons yet to be revealed and installed this mod called Fish on Extras that features fishing time, a playtime marker that increases only after catching fish, stopping shortly after I take a break. I spent 100 hours in a Minecraft fishing simulator. And it's actually true. Everything that's been in this video so far was stuff I re-recorded on an alt in order to write a proper introduction that explains a bunch of stuff before jumping off into the deep end. The story resumes here, or maybe I should say it begins here. My goal was having fun. I was still in the phase of figuring out what I wanted to do and finding an area I could really settle into. Fish on Minecraft has a lot of different areas and they're all based on real places. Key West from Florida, Lake Biwa from Biwako, Japan, and unless you get into the nitty-gritty of it, every area is just as effective as the last. It used to be where every new area you unlocked was stronger than the last, but that way of development wasn't sustainable in the long term. Now this is the long-term version. What exactly was not long-term about the other versions?
In the old version, every location was like stacking onto each other. So you would want to fish at the next location instead of like going wherever you really want.
Oh, because it'd be like stronger fish.
Yeah, they'd give you more money. The armor sets were better every location. It just wasn't like how I wanted it to be.
Nowadays, you can just pick your favorite location and stick there, whether it be because you fished there in real life, maybe you like that location's pet, or even simpler, you just like how the location looks. If you're an optimal gamer, some locations work better than others because of bait quest strategies, but this isn't something you have to concern yourself with until your armor sets are all upgraded. You like that location's pet? Shit. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Slight whoopsie daisy. These lovable floating cubes are pets, and they're pretty strong. They account for a large chunk of your stats, and they can also be equipped with a pet item. Hold on. This reminds me of something. Once again, this fishing but actually a gambling simulator features another aspect of RNG. Pets are rewarded in a few ways: randomly caught, rewarded from hard quests, and from completing your daily missions. Getting pets is easy enough. The issue is getting excellent pets. Pets provide luck and scale for their climate and location based on its quality, and that quality is shown through its rating tag. Bad, average, good, these suck. All we have to care about is whether or not it's great or better. Pets have levels and rarities, and there's this whole process to train them, but that's a luxury I can't afford to do effectively right now. There's probably strategies to level up pets, but I'm just a noob, which is why I'm back fishing. The only way for me to make progress is to keep at keeping at it. And these fish ain't gonna catch themselves. Oh my god, that's one big ass fish.
Getting him off the bottom's a little bit tough.
Yeah? We'll be eating good tonight.
Let's see, yeah. A catfish.
Not a catfish!
Hi, it's me. Before we get too lost in the sauce, I ought to catch us back up to where things are at. This clip right here is me fishing at Kenai River, and this is an hour after the challenge officially started. As you can see, there's been some progress, being as I had already caught 2,000 fish by this point. I got a handful of clips from before I started tracking fish time, including some very significant moments in my Fish on Minecraft adventure. Yippee! I have a clip of my rod part progress looking kinda decent. Far from the best, but there's a solution to that. Crafting rod parts isn't just a matter of having the money. What I was lacking is a very not easy to fix problem. Look at these damn requirements! I don't have it unlocked, and I'm never gonna reach that in a million years. Which is when I realized something. Those are the crafting requirements. I don't need those to use them, right? My Hypixel Skyblock experience came in clutch. All I had to do was gather the money and pay someone to craft it for me. And fortunately, my community has some Fish on Minecraft players. I just had to put myself in debt if I wanted to get the rod parts even earlier.
We are gonna borrow a little money.
And then make the money back fishing with those upgrades. Yep. My challenge started with me almost 1 million coins in debt. Quests are strong though, and now that I was level 50, I had unlocked the hard quests, rewarding more money for my time compared to easy and medium. Other than that, I was earning money from winning contests either late at night or getting really lucky during the day with some absolute monster catches. Catching every unique fish in an area also rewards a small prize, so I was going around clearing those for the easy cash. Oh, God, that cost 100k for one click. What I just did there is called calibrating, an expensive additional rod part upgrade, and once again, it's even more gambling. Look at this. All of these are possible rolls I could have gotten just now, but instead, I managed to hit the lucky 11%. Some of these have stat ranges that you also need to get lucky with. And again, it costs 100,000 coins per click. I got a low roll, but who cares? I'll take it. Not like I have the money to keep trying anyway.
We need money.
I'll earn that money back in 1 million hours. I'm so glad I did that. Oh my god! Hi guys. I just logged back in because something special is happening. Everyone is fishing together. There's actually another very rare variant fish, rarer than trophies, but not because of its drop rate. This daily event variant is the fabled fish, and it can only be caught twice a day. It spawns randomly in a specific area, and everyone rushes over to fish for it. It's my first time seeing this many people fishing together. This is peak. Oh, GG. That's an admin, by the way. Shout out Crab Yoko.
Crab is my G, man. Shout out Crab.
And with that, day 1 concluded after 6 hours. Only 94 to go. Day 2 started off strong. Maybe I had built up karma from repaying my debts. I was having a good day. Then something happened that I could never have expected. Yes, sir! 1 out of 15,000 chance. And I caught it way before schedule. Nice. Especially since I haven't told you all about this yet. Catching a variant not only gets you a fish, but also a variant shard. These rare materials go for big dollar, especially trophy shards. With all my debts paid and luck coming around to make me some cash, I was feeling pretty confident for what comes next. The truth is, there's a reason I chose now to start this challenge. Fish on Minecraft is about to have a special yearly event. This was my master plan. If I was going to spend 100 hours in this game, best to spend a large chunk of that during a special event, right? This is what I've been preparing for. Getting strong rod parts most importantly, but also, oh my god, are they actually going to? Am I getting scammed? Oh my god, it's so good! Mythical tier bullfrog pet acquired. Cypress Lake's location pet. Mythical, with a mid rating, but even still worth $500,000 or more, especially since the event will be taking place at Cypress Lake. With the trophy shard money, I was able to calibrate my pole for even more bite speed. Oh! Oh, my money! Oh, nice. But no, the roll sucks. No. That cost $700K. The last upgrade I made before going to bed was forging my first mythical armor upgrade. That cost $1 million, by the way, but it's definitely a chunky stat improvement. Well worth it. Day 2 ends there. About 14 hours out of 100 done. If only I knew what I was getting myself into.
No! 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 No!
Those darn kids. I've been telling them not to stay out too long. It's out there, waiting. Bigfoot.
Choosing to do this challenge right before a special event was a great decision. Fish on Minecraft events are amazing opportunities to get yourself loaded with money, and for the dedicated players, it's something for them to spend their money on. There are missions or quests for this event, one-time and repeatable. Doing these gets you points that you slowly accumulate towards event tiers with some amazing rewards. For the dedicated players though, these event tiers aren't the only prize available. No, this event hosts a competition. This is Fish on Minecraft though, a fishing server. How competitive could it really be?
These wussies ain't seen the trenches.
The rewards for top placements aren't that crazy, but the limited value brings some long-term worth. The most valuable thing from what I'm reading is this cosmetic pet reskin. Only 25 players will be able to get this, and it's tradable, unlike the other cosmetics. Now, y'all know me. High Pixel Skyblock teaches you a thing or two about limited quantity cosmetics, and these pet skins have even more value from being a competitive event reward. You can't just spend real money to buy them and then sell it for in-game cash. There's no shortcuts for this. You either grind or you miss out. And it just so happens I have a 100-hour challenge to complete. Yippee! Perhaps it's time to get a bit serious. Big problem, I have no money.
We are going to need some money.
Undoubtedly a disadvantage, but this is something I'll have to figure out later. For now, check this out. The event has its own special variant fish. Event missions involve this spooky fish as a repeatable source of event points. All of the one-time mission events don't involve it, while all the repeatable ones do. Simple missions involving Cypress Lake that are very doable, especially if you have upgraded gear, and especially easier because of all the players throwing down global boosters, buffing everybody with tons of luck and scale. Completing all the missions is enough to finish the tiers and get all the free stuff, and that free stuff also includes a special bait, the creepy crawlers. This is the special event bait that increases your chance at spooky fish by a solid 20%. I'm glad I get some for free because I'm afraid this will not be cheap. For now, I'll see how far I can get without using it. It's day 1 of the event, and aside from the lag, which got fixed on the first day, things are pretty fun. Cypress Lake has all of these new NPCs now, and they all talk about this monster. Huh? Did I just get touched? So, the event introduces something different. A mechanic that no other area has yet. A unique area interaction. Discovered through rare chance alongside meeting certain conditions. Special conditions, huh? Something's lurking in the dark, and I want to define it.
If there's any cryptid that could beat a Bigfoot in a fight, first off, I don't know if that's possible, but if it was, I would have to think it's
Me. Today, We are playing Fish on Minecraft. And if you look at the top right over here, you can see my fish time. I'm already at 19 hours. That only ticks down when you're fishing. Let's see, is Paul still sleeping? Let's see, let's check on Paul. Paul, you there? Paul? I want to go look for Bigfoot. It's nighttime. All right, we got the shaders on. Let's go find Bigfoot. I'm trying to get touched. Sorry. Holy crap, where is this guy? Oh shit. There's a footprint. Still can't find him. Oh dude, it's already been 3 hours. Witching hour is almost over. We still haven't found Bigfoot. Oh shit. Paul. Paul's gone. Oh, cryptid sighting! Some people got their shit snatched. Let's go, 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 go. Oh, another one. Oh, what? Throw them in there. Bam, look at that. I wanted to find Bigfoot at least once, but maybe expecting to see him on the first day was a bit much. So, I returned to fishing. We've reached the 21-hour fish time mark. Oh my god. This was no time to be distracted, however. After checking the leaderboard and seeing myself in the top 50, I knew I could do better. It was time to lock in. With all these boosters being thrown, the worst part about this event is being stuck in one area for so long. It's only event day 2 and I'm already itching to fish somewhere else. Maybe it gets better? Spoiler, it does not get better. But check this out. I finally hit the final tier of the event, getting all the rewards and this awesome cosmetic hat. But oh no, dear viewer, the event is just getting started. And with all of this event bait I got rewarded, it's time to get serious. Check this out. I rolled these boots this stream, and now it's time to upgrade them to Mythic. 4 stacks of shards. Bam. Holy. Where are we? Oh, we're tryhard fishing is what we're doing. Look at this guy.
850K, yes sir!
Pause. Why are they fishing underwater? This is the least aesthetic way to fish. Indeed, it isn't pretty, but they might be onto something. The wait time between cast to catch starts as soon as the fishing bobber touches the water. You can't drown and fish on Minecraft, so we could take advantage of that by casting in the water, immediately starting the wait period and saving yourself fractions of a second for every catch. In a game where you only fish, a few insignificant optimizations can actually add up in the long run. But these optimizations are too easy. I need to be even more dedicated if I'm going to compete with these veteran fishers. I must prey upon a legendary icon, Lord of the River Monsters, Jeremy Wade.
Hey Tony, we love Jeremy Wade, ain't that right, don't? Jeremy Wade!
Fish on.
What just... Did he just leave something behind? That is Wade's Amulet, the best pet item in the game for speeding up your fish per hour. You didn't ask, but I'll tell you anyway. The cheapest and easily the most effective pet item for a very long time is the Prospecting Amulet, a pet item that helps you catch more shards. That's the one I use pretty much all the time and never had much reason to not use it, but what about Wade's Amulet? It does one thing. Speeds up reeling in the fishing minigame by 5%. Is pretty much what this means. It matters the most for big fish, the types of fish that'll keep you trapped in a fight for a very long time. Wade's Amulet saves time, and optimizing my catch rates is very important for this event. I'm catching a lot of large and gigantic fish. Wade's Amulet is very useful for that. Of course, I'm gonna ruin the magic and reveal that Jeremy Wade, in fact, did not descend from the heavens to give me an item in Minecraft. Also, he's still alive. The Wade's Amulet has a funky craft. It uses 9 shards total, 4 albino, 4 melanistic, and 1 trophy. Bought all of these earlier, but now I'm facing an old problem. I don't have the recipe unlocked. I need to catch a total of 100,000 fish for this. I'm progressing too fast with this dang game and it's trying to hold me back. But little does it realize, I know the meta. Asking other players politely. Lando came in clutch again and crafted it for me, again helping me in my Fish on Minecraft journey. This happened in the morning of event day 3, a good day to say the least. As you can see, I finally got myself dripped out in a fishing fit. Straight up stole it from Korean. Thanks, big guy. A player caught the worst mythical pet I've ever seen. Bigfoot stole another one of my fish. Players were still throwing down boosters, making sure the grind had never stopped. I finished the catch 5,000 fish mission, getting me a ton of points that landed me in number 33. Come on, give me some joy. I finished event day 3 off with 10,000 event points, number 27 on the event leaderboard. This wasn't ending anytime soon.
The sea. So fascinating. So wonderful.
Hawaii. Unlocked this place when I reached level 100. Maybe I should go visit. Warning! Warning! What am I thinking? I can't sleep or take a break, let alone go on vacation. I'm stuck here for the next few days. I am a prisoner. The next couple days are just more of the same. Fishing. I got rare drops, sold stuff, lots of level ups from my quests, and the worst part was, I ran out of my free event bait. Ow. Ridiculously expensive. That being said though, I got to 13,000 points, placing me in the top 25. Now I just need to make sure I don't get kicked out. The day ends and I'm 50 hours into my 100-hour challenge. We are officially halfway. Event day 5, I spent a gazillion dollars on event bait, then got a bajillion dollars back from leveling up my gigantic collection, then wasted it all on event bait. Ooh, level 15. It's late, but location level 15 is a nice milestone. Let's see what I get from the mythical bait pack. What the hell? I just got the McDonald's pack, dog. Don't say W. I clocked 14 hours on day 5. Holy crap. By this point, I've caught a total of 840 spooky fish. I'm sitting pretty, having finally broken into the top 20. 16,350 points. A significant amount, but not significant enough. The grind must go on. Day 6. Bad news, I dropped to number 20. Going into this, I didn't expect the players to be so competitive. I need to apologize for calling them wusses, because if anything, this event is the trenches. The first few days were fine, but it's event day 6 now. I'm tired, boss. But it's okay. The cool people invited me to a technically illegal fishing spot, the aquarium. Immediately caught a gigantic spooky, plus 85 points. Life is good. Now, there is something I must confess. For a while now, I've been scheming, hatching a plot. Say hello to Bobby. He's my new mythical frog pet, trained and leveled up by yours truly. Going back a few days, I've slowly but surely been catching and purchasing excellent frog pets with one reason in mind. My goddamn current frog pet sucks, and I want a better one. Pets are such a large chunk of stats, and for the majority of the event, I've been stuck with this great frog. But training a strong pet is a lengthy and expensive project. In order to raise a rarity, you need 2 pets at level 100 of the same rarity. From common to rare to epic, legendary, and then finally, mythical. That's a total of 16 common pets, and the pet XP required for level 100 increases with each rarity. Needless to say, I had no intention of raw dogging the pet leveling process. There had to be a strategy. I just needed to find it. Head XP per catch goes off of 2 factors, the fish rarity and size class. There's no way to manipulate size classes like adult and large other than getting more scale, but rarity? Now that I can work with. By this point, I have access to all locations in Fish on Minecraft. I need to find an area that has baitable mythic fish. Normally, there's no reason to look for this, since quest options stop at legendary, but it's the best for XP and pet leveling. That being said, this wasn't an easy task. There are very limited amount of areas you can affordably bait mythic fish in. That is, if you ignore another problem. The first area I tried is called the Noob River. Its collection of fish has a singular salmon, a mythical salmon. Perfect! Exactly what I needed. Time to level up my frog pet. Why do I hear boss music? This fish is called the beluga sturgeon. Now don't get me wrong, absolutely monster fish are fun to catch, but this ain't right. Catching the salmon, even with the bait, doesn't happen too frequently, but it's nice when it does. But right, I couldn't help but think that there had to be a better area. Kenai River, the perfect location. None of the fish are too big, making for faster catches, including my mythical target, the northern pike. And I can use affordable rare baits for this. Nice! The rates were great, and I could finally get to work leveling my collection of frog pets. I only worked on this project when there weren't any event boosters, and with this pet item I crafted using Bigfoot's teeth, my pet XP rates were phenomenal. Rare. Easy. Yo! That's epic. No way. Immersion ruined. And a legendary. I'm so tired. It's finally done. I had acquired Bobby, the mythical bullfrog, and at the same time, I found out I was number 17 on the leaderboard with 22,000 points. It's ridiculous that 13,000 of those event points were from catching 1,300 spooky fish. Somewhere in that montage, event day 7 started. But not because I went to sleep. No. Midnight passed and I still haven't gone to bed. And there's a reason for that. Day 7 is the final day of the event. I was running out of time. Out of time for what, though? My event placement was pretty dang solid, if you ask me. I am confident I will be finishing in the top 25. But is that good enough? No. I can do better. In fact, I need to do better, and here's why.
Looni, wanna make a bet?
Yeah?
Get top 15 or Cipher.
I don't know what I was thinking when I took that bet. My friend is a huge Sonic fan. Who knows what kind of atrocity they might put me through if I lose. This top 15 finish is my new goal, and I couldn't sleep until I accomplished this. So again, it's now event day 7, the last day of the event. It was 1 a.m. when I merged my mythical pet Bobby and leveled him up. At least for the rest of the competition, which ends 11 hours from now, I'll have my new upgraded pet. I'm just hoping no one gets in my way.
I've got a peer-reviewed study right here that says... Says you're a pussy.
93 hours into my 100-hour challenge, and I was top 15 in the event. Even better, one of the players was dropping out because they specifically wanted top 17 for some reason, so things suddenly got way easier. I might even be able to go to sleep. What? Got level 150, which was pretty surprising, and shortly after witnessing a player achieve something incredibly rare, I acquired number 14 in the event. But goddamn, am I tired. It's now 7 a.m. Real Stranded, one of the competitors, baked me out with this message saying he was gonna go to bed. But spoilers, he didn't sleep. My body was done after pulling this 24-hour shift, 97 hours on the clock. I was sitting in a solid 13th place, 24,000 points, completely satisfied with my guaranteed top 25 finish. Top 15 was nearly certain unless, well, I was so tired that potentially losing the bet felt fine to me. I went to bed. Only one easy day left to complete my 100-hour challenge. And holy crap, it was close. Mallow Morgan threatened me as promised, only 70 points away from ruining my top 15 win. I won the bet, so for my reward, my friend made me an edit of my skin with the hoodie up. That'll make a fine addition to my collection. Event rewards include that frog pet cosmetic reskin, the special fishing rod cosmetic for everyone in the top 100. And yeah, with all that done, I've played for a few more hours and got to 100 hours played. Challenge completed.
You thought the video would end there? No! We're just getting started! Be happy with just 15th place? 100 hours? Only for that? No! I want this video to accomplish more than just an introduction. I want to leave a mark in Fish on Minecraft history. What I want is a world record. World record fish, in either length, weight, or both. Fish on Minecraft tracks these record fish and showcases them and the player that caught it publicly on the fish profile. And of course, there's a leaderboard. There are a great many players that make world record hunting their main goal in the game. And now it's my time to steal a record. Fish. Problem number 1. A large majority of my time so far has been spent in Cypress Lake, the very first area in the game. All of the boosters thrown during the event made me level up like crazy, but it's all useless. You see, fish records aren't based on location. All of the Cypress Lake fish can also be caught at Toledo Reservoir. And it's only a matter, of course, that the fish there are larger in general, meaning all the Cypress fish records are actually caught at Toledo. Unfortunately, my time here won't help me catch any records. I have to find a different spot to fish for my world record. How about Key West, Florida? Or the Everglades? If you haven't guessed it yet, I live in the southern United States.
When you out fishing, you need to bring your banjo and your nunchucks.
Cypress Lake would have been perfect. I live close enough to visit the actual place. Just ignore that they actually based the build off of Caddo Lake, which is in Texas. So, to figure out where I should fish for my world record, I traveled there in person to meditate. Guys, Cypress Lake was not what I was expecting. Fish. Oh, I caught a tree. No, get out of there, come on, fish. Let's go! Let's go! Chat, I know what I must do. I must catch a funny fish. Welcome to the Funniest Fish Awards. Funny fish names: Wahoo, Kawakawa, John Dory. Yes, that's a real fish. Saugai, sausage. Wait, is that pronounced so gay? And last but not least, a fish that's prime for world record taking. A white fish from the Great Lakes. Common, unimportant. Its name is Cisco. And if it's not funny, it should at least be easy. Yeah, it's not that funny. But this might just be the perfect random fish to absolutely blast with a ridiculous world record. My first goal was to set myself up for continental fishing, which is the climate for both Danube River and Great Lakes. You see, originally, I wanted to fish at Danube River. That's because it has a wolf pet. Bark, bark. Alongside the doggy pet, there was a collection of fish called the Eurasian minnows that all collectively could be world record. To optimize a world record catch, you need these: armor lines, location species bonus rolls, bait, and a scale booster to help catch gigantic fish more often. The scale category of your fish is what determines its size, not the other way around. Meaning the armor lines and species bonus rolls don't increase your chance for gigantics, but they sure do help make your fish size much larger for contests and world records. And after all that, you still need to catch multiple gigantics and pray for an incredible roll on size and length, because both of those have a random range as well. Fishing at Danube River was my first target. I spent a lot of time here, and its quest strategy is really good. You use bread or worms and catch epic fish. I must introduce my worst enemy, the beluga sturgeon. Look how slow that meter is moving. Danube River has a group of sturgeons, and the mythical one takes forever to catch. The truth is, I already was cooking up this world record plan before I finished my 100 hours, and I was so locked in that I accidentally fished past 100 hours without realizing. Oh, whoops. 100 hours. It has been done. Now, in order to get myself a world record, all those other stuff are good, right? But don't underestimate me, okay? I got time to burn. I chose Danube River because of its wolf pet. Someone let me borrow their mythic doggy, but truth is, I wanted to get a world record alongside my own wolf pet, okay? And as it turns out, I actually had horrible luck catching my own wolf pets. They're all good dogs, but their quality is low! I was collecting excellence so that I could eventually train my own mythical, which is when something incredibly fortunate happened. Please be good, please be good, please be good, please be good. Yes. I had pulled a wolf pet of every rarity up till now, but they had all been terrible. It's just my kind of luck to finally pull a 1 out of 80,000 drop and have the quality be usable. It took 4 days for this lucky break, and in that time I had also crafted myself a beautiful 100% continental set. Crafting my own armor was a learning opportunity. The strategy for world record armor crafting actually doesn't really care about the quality of your armor. What matters the most is what you can get on the first line roll. Gambling on the first line is horrendous. The wide range of different fish species it can roll is big, and chances are you aren't getting what you want, which is, of course, what people are gambling on. The cost of each roll goes up every time, adding up to an amount you can't ignore. So, what players do is roll the first line on every piece of armor they craft, perhaps rolling more on the higher quality pieces just in case. Oh my god! Rolling a 9% or higher in any species is a W. You take what you can get. As the story goes, my original target was Eurasian minnows. I had managed to collect a bunch of different sets covering the few different rarities they came in, but it's like I said, you take what you can get. not what I expected at all, but this whitefish set definitely works. Whitefish aren't a Danube River species. Instead, they show up at the Great Lakes. I've already fished at the Great Lakes a little bit. The quest strategy isn't nearly as good as Danube River, but it was good enough, especially since I was allowed to borrow someone's mythical eagle pet in return for leveling it up. I'm telling you, the meta of Fish on Minecraft is talking with people and asking politely. There are an entire 2 whitefish in the continental climates, the lake whitefish and my favorite, Cisco. And these fish are going to be my world records. It took 6 days and an additional 40 hours of fishing after completing my 100-hour challenge before I would attempt for my first world records. I had prepared everything I could. Could be better, but this is more than enough. The day had finally arrived. All I had to do now was activate the scale booster and start fishing.
Impossible, see the invisible. Row, row, fight the power. Touch the untouchable, break the unbreakable. Row, row, fight the power. What you gonna do is what you wanna do. Just
We can do better than that. Keep going.
This is the theme of the Jeep. Baby, row, row, fight the power. Impossible, see the invisible. Row, row, fight the power. Touch the untouchable, break the unbreakable. Row, row, fight the power. What you gonna do is what you wanna do.
And there we go. The Lake Whitefish and Cisco world record. It has been done. I want to thank everyone who helped me on this journey. Y'all are the goats. I want to thank my parents for bringing me into this world. Couldn't have done it without them. And of course, I must thank Jeremy Wade for existing.
Fish on.
Now all they need to do is add drinks, and the game is perfect.